Good evening, good morning, good afternoon, whatever it is, wherever you are. Hope everybody is in good shape. I hope everybody is having a good week so far. This is Wednesday evening, September 19. Last time I checked. It is. It is. So I'm just trying to bring up a window on my tablet so I can read comments more readily. So it's Wednesday and I was, whoa, why'd you do that? It's Wednesday and I was looking at our video list on the Tabletop Baseball Plus channel, which you are currently watching. Right now, and I realized that it's been, well, I'll tell you what, it's kind of weird because to me it feels like I have gone a month without making a video, and instead it's only been 4 days. It's kind of weird that there is this feeling that you get after you kind of have gone, you know, I went through a period of time there when we were doing the first Tenacious League and the Phillies and all that stuff, where I was probably putting out a video a night. I almost feel a bit ashamed when I don't put a video out more than once a week or twice a week. And yeah, it seems it's like my view of time and space has changed because of that. So so first off, the update at the moment is, yeah, I'm somewhat in a bit of a, call it what you will, busy time. I don't think funk's the word, but there are times that I find it really kind of tough to come into this room here and get much done. I mean, for instance, you know, you see here, I have yet to put any of this stuff away from the tournament on Sunday. I have done all my updates on my spreadsheet, but when it comes to actually kind of carrying forward, I've been a little bit on the apathetic side, I guess is a crappy word, but maybe a little bit, maybe unmotivated. Suffice it to say, I also have a lot of stuff going on this week. I'm in the midst of hazmat technician training, which is a lot of class work. There's a little bit of practical work at this point, but I also know that there's a situation coming up where I've got to be able to wear basically a spacesuit and take care of a situation involving a hazardous material being spilled or being leaked or something. I don't know what that exactly looks like, but these suits are a little weird, and so there's that. My son's into soccer now. He had a practice tonight. I've got other stuff for work coming up on the weekend here, and it's football season now. It's, you know, there's just, I mean, time is at a premium, and I just feel like this is getting the short end of the stick for sure. So, and part of that is knowing that even though I could probably find something to do in a half an hour, it can often be difficult to commit that half an hour and say, because I know I would rather it be an hour or two if I could. So, well, Derek, as far as the bills go, I mean, I kind of expected last season to look a lot like this, so it was coming. I'm not so worried about the player quitting. You know, that says as much about him as it does about anything, but it sounds like he had some reason to do that, so no biggie. Life goes on, and you know, the Bills will continue to have a, you know, a season to build on, I guess. So, well, I think that they will be. I put one on and traipsed around in it on Tuesday, the hazmat suit, Jason, and it was draining. That is absolutely the truth. It was. I actually. It's not that I didn't. It was okay. I wouldn't say that I hated it. I wouldn't say I would want to spend lots of hours in there, but for the 10-15 minutes that I was actually in the suit, it was all right. You know, it is what it is. You know, you're wearing a self-contained breathing apparatus on the inside of the suit, and it's fully encapsulated. So you have limited mobility, limited visibility as far as, you know, you've kind of got this mask sitting around your face. This outer part is kind of like plenty of peripheral vision, but with a scuba, well, SCBA, you kind of have this mask that narrows your vision. So it's a little, it can be a little unnerving. I didn't necessarily find it that way, but this has been my first experience in this kind of a suit, and it was okay. So I think I have to do more Friday. But yeah, Vontae Davis just decided to call his career quits during the end of the first half of the Bills game against I almost said San Diego, Los Angeles Chargers. So yeah, it is what it is. It doesn't happen very often, but I mean, I read an interview with him that was done this week, and I mean, just sounded like he felt like he doesn't have what it takes anymore. So yeah, so I guess one quick shout out that I will give. This is a I don't know how much he likes his name put out. I don't really see him comment too much. Of course, it could be going by a what do you want to call it? By a pseudonym, but I got a package that I was not expecting, and this was from a guy who goes by his initials are AF. So, like I said, I don't know as he really wants his name too much out there. I mean, I'm sure that I will hear from him if he does, and if AF, if you do, just please let me know, and I'll give you all the thanks. I already give you all the thanks in the world as far as this goes, but so first off, I'll talk a little bit more about it here in a second, as far as, because actually the letter itself was probably as cool as anything as far as I'm concerned. But he sent me this game, Baseball Classics, 1 to 2 players, ages 8 and up, and he sent me the Phillies and the Tampa Bay Rays from 2008, and I haven't really done a real close look at this yet, but it looks like it's got all the rules, and it also appears that there is a bunch of stuff that I really need to look through here. So there's a lot of interesting parts to this. So Jerry says not too bad. Well, I think AF would like to see me do a series between Tampa and Philly using this game, and so it's gonna take me a little time to get up to speed. He sent me another game that was an older baseball game. This is probably 6 months ago. It's a I think is it Milton Bradley? I would haul it out here, but I've stashed it away. And he also sent me the book, and I haven't read it, and I've been trying to get back into reading, and so I might actually pull it out here and try. Since I have been taking a little bit of, like I said, sort of some me time, both because I have a lot of other stuff going on, plus, it's all, it's definitely good to sort of step away for a short period of time and collect your thoughts. But, well, the book is here somewhere. It's by Waugh, and I don't know. It's here. I put it here somewhere to read, and I don't quite have it right in front of me. I'm a little embarrassed about that at the moment because I wanted to bring it out here. But so he had sent that to me back, like I said, about a year ago, and I know ow, that hurts. So that's going to be something that I have Atmos Soccer that still is in need of playing and getting going, and and I have second season, which is somewhat along the way. I have the golf thing. There's a lot of stuff up. A lot of stuff that needs to be done. Yeah. So Jerry, and Tribe fan. Yeah, I would say glad to see you've completed your other project, and you're jumping into Vita Blue there. So that's cool. But as far as like the other part of this story, the other part of this thing with AF, again, AF, if you're watching this live or after the fact, if you want some kudos as far as your full name, just let me know. I don't know how much you want this, but anyway, he gave me a letter, and in it he brought up that he watched and part of the reason he sent that is that he watched the 2008 replay, and he mentioned the infamous game 156, and it really just kind of gave me pause to say, you know what, I think I'm going to go back and watch the last couple innings of that game just to see how bad it was. And and I've also had some other feedback here in the last couple of months from some other people. I don't want to reveal who, but I don't know. I'm not, I really kind of got myself disliking the way that I acted in that. Not only that game, but a lot of the latter half of that project. But I don't know. I'm also strangely proud that I think it was authentic, and I hope it came across as authentic, because it was. It's not like I was sitting there. I don't think anybody sits there and tries to act like that when they're doing something. I mean, I there's no way I would sit there and, display emotions like that without there being some. I mean, to me, like I said, part of it I'm watching it back and I kind of feel like slightly embarrassed, because it's actually more than slightly embarrassed. I think it was a vulnerable moment, and you know, putting these games, depending on the really it's a vulnerable situation you've put yourself in. You've lent yourself the opportunity to either, you know, win and lose gracefully, or in my case, I felt like I won some games pretty gracefully, and then I lost some games pretty tactlessly. But I don't know. Like I said, I think I know it. I mean, I know it was authentic. That's kind of the way that it comes when things get a little off the mark. Things don't go to plan. Interestingly, the Bills games of late here, the ones, you know, the current season that they're playing, I think because I'm somewhat expecting them to be bad, I've been able to temper some of my negative feelings about it. I mean, there's clearly still some negativity there, but you know, it's not as bad as, I mean, granted, this was something, I didn't act this way during the Phillies. Of course, they won the World Series and such, but I don't know. Anyway, AF, I appreciate you bringing that up. I actually sent him an email and thanked him as well. I really appreciated the letter, because, you know, I think it's, and the package too, obviously. I think it's neat to get a new game, and I mean, we'll have to see. Every game's a little different. Every game has a little different way it does things, but this will give me a chance to see what this one's like, and who knows, maybe it'll be the type of thing I want to go out and get another set and give it a try. So let me see. Derek says he's pondering a Hershiser 88 replay. Well, ponder away, bud. I'm sure that would, you know, it's great to do things that you have memories of if you're, well, if it meets your expectations. I think that's definitely something that can be better for you. If your expectations are out of whack, which I don't even think mine were out of whack. They were just, there was pressure. I guess I kind of felt pressure from having to try and duplicate something. And, well, anyway. See, and honestly, I guess I really didn't. So Jerry says that that game will go down in tabletop baseball history, and he kind of laughs out loud at that. Well, I don't know whether it does or not. I mean, our genre is pretty diminutive, if that's the right word. I guess part of me didn't even realize that there was any history period to it. I guess I kind of have tried to block it out some, because I felt like it was, some of that last month especially was kind of out of whack. But so Jerry says the chart's a little hard to read. Well, so we'll just have to take some time with that. Kind of the way that I'm gonna do here with ATBA soccer. So while I'm talking to you here, I am currently trying to get my act together as far as my golf cards go. But so anyway, yeah, I guess I kind of blocked out that last couple months. I mean, thinking back, I'm proud that I completed the project. I'm proud that I went through the playoffs. And from the standpoint of, I think it gives a relatively accurate view of my perspective on the project. I think that's fine. I don't know as I'd be happy with a lot of people who know me in real life seeing some of that, but then again, those people probably already know me to an extent and know that I have some some bouts of temper at times. It's my temper is really weird. It's I absorb hits. But then there are times where it's just, it kind of bubbles to the surface, and once it does, it just boils like a madman. So yeah, and so Jerry mentions golf. Yeah, I that's the other thing here. I felt like the last. I feel like this golf tour is getting long and getting repetitive, and it needs to be done, and so it's going to be done. But and I'm going to play it here on the channel, especially the Tenacious tour. But I don't know. I have to figure out what my tactic will be in future iterations of the golf tour. If I'll just play a lot of stuff offline down the road and play the big tournaments online, or if I just save the last few holes. I think if there's some breathing space between tournaments and stuff, that will help. Oh, well, I don't think I spoiled anything yet, so I'm not gonna tell you how it ends. I'm not gonna spoil it. I do think, from my view of the feedback that I've gotten, which is commenting and the after the fact comments and the other feedback, the likes, dislikes, etc. It seems like the impact was a little on the low side. I will admit that it wasn't. I don't know. I don't want to give too much away. There may be others who are interested in watching and just haven't seen it yet, or maybe they were away and haven't seen it. So I'll just leave it at that. I've got to figure out my tactics going forward. But I mean, my whole point of this video was to just sort of, one, show you that a benevolent person sent a game, which I really appreciate, and I hope that it gives me the opportunity to pull this guy out here and learn the ins and outs of the game, and maybe I'll find a game that will give me an idea and make me want to try and do some more baseball. It's not that I'm against Stratomatic. I'm just, I needed a rest from it. I'm going to need a rest from History Maker Golf for a little bit. Fortunately, there's some other games to play, so we'll do that here eventually. So yeah, just checking the rest of the comments here. I think it's I don't know. I'm trying to think of where I wanted to go next, and I think we've seen quite a few videographers here come, go, some more come, a couple go, some channels rebranded, some combined, Earl's and mine combined. So, I would say, you know, this has probably been 3 or 4, maybe 5 years in the making total. I kind of jumped into it probably for the last 2.5. Something to that effect. I have to go back and look. Maybe it's only been, it's been two and change, we'll say, for me. And you know, I think we're still seeing growth. You know, it'd be nice to see some novel ideas on how to keep this moving forward too. So, you know, the challenge is right there. You know, is it playing games? Is it, you know, Tribe Fans method, which is to kind of give updates? Is it, you know, Strat Delaware? He does some games and some tutorials, and I mean, I think that's a good one. Is it, you know, after further review, he plays some games, but also does some sort of like news stuff. You know, I think that there's a lot of room for additional ideas on how to capitalize on those who are interested, those who rely on this space for entertainment and news and all that stuff in terms of the you know, the genre of games that we play. But I think it also comes down to each of us getting ourselves out there and interacting offline too. You know, and when I mean offline, I mean not in the live chats here, but going and you know, sharing videos and maybe going to events. I'm hoping next year to go to one. You know, money isn't always easy to do, but you know, it's not always easy to participate in things, but it could even be just as simple as taking one of your games down to a local gaming store. Or I mean, I've long thought about it with Strat Delaware. He doesn't live that far from me. Just getting together on a Saturday and at a local brew pub and just playing a game or 2 or 3 out there, and just, you know, who knows if someone sees it and goes, wow, that's a little weird, but then they take a look at it and realize what's going on and say, oh, hey, that's kind of neat. How do you guys do that? And that's kind of what we've got to do here, you know, is just continue to look for more opportunities to appeal to those who are maybe pretty much unaware that there's this type of stuff around. So doing a vlog of an event might be interesting. Well, that's true. And Derek says that they have a local board gaming place, but it's all D&D. Well, I do, again. So, I mean, for those of you who, I don't know. I don't want to. All I want to encourage you to do is to not, just not to feel extremely. I mean, I'll tell you what. There are times that I feel complacent, but you know, there's gonna be a period of time here where I kind of feel this way, and then there's a time where we kind of have to just decide that, you know, the way that we keep spreading the word and helping to keep these gaming companies afloat is to attract new. I mean, and the onus is on them as well. I mean, if they want new customers, then they've got to reach their target base and expand their target base. I mean, I'm not compensated. You know, I know Play Games, I think they had an event in Dallas this past week. I think there's a hockey blast get together coming up in maybe Pittsburgh or something like that. So again, it's just sometimes it's timing, and sometimes it's just, you know, there's money involved. Each of us is in a different spot, but you know, you use your imagination. I don't think these things have to be things that are going to cost you, you know, 2 nights stay in a hotel every other weekend, or you know, once a month, or you know, airfare and entry into a tournament, or I mean, like I said, I think simply finding some people in your area that are keen on this type of stuff as well to start, and saying, okay, well, maybe what we need to do is, instead of going to the local game shop, maybe we go to I mean, the brew pub. I think that's it. I think that's from what I've seen, and I haven't approached, there's a brew pub in the town here. I haven't really approached them about this idea. I mean, I'm not expecting them to give away any beer to me or anything, but you know, I think, I would imagine they're looking for things that would attract people to come and hang out at their brewery and spend money and buy their beer and have a good time. So so Derek wonders if the economy is great for the gaming companies. Well, I don't know, but you know, I don't think anybody, I don't know. It's a niche genre. I'm not privy to their finances. I don't know what kind of promotional budgets they have. Like I said, Play, I think it's relatively obvious because, you know, you see Keith taking pictures in Fort Worth, and probably will be in Pittsburgh. I think that's some promotional stuff that he's trying to do, outreach. I don't know. Maybe it's a school. Maybe it's saying, you know what, you know, maybe this local school has a chess club. Well, maybe they'd find this kind of strategy game interesting. I don't know. I mean, they might also throw your dice at you and like laugh at you, and you know, then I guess the worst thing you've got is a couple of bruises from dice hitting you in the head or something, and maybe a bruised ego. But I don't know. I guess I'm just throwing stuff out there. I'm just trying to kick around some ideas, and trust me, I am not one to have tried too many of them yet, but I think it's milling around in my head, because I think, you know, a lot of why I started Tenacious Strat channel and joined this one here was the belief that there would be people who are out there looking for videos on how to play these games, maybe, or you know, I'll tell you what, it was originally the thing for me was scorekeeping, and I thought this would be a way to kind of have some scorekeeping videos as well as doing some other stuff, and it just sort of ballooned into the gaming. But that was kind of where it was that it seemed like, and also it seemed like video games had this genre of let's play, and I will fully admit that the young people doing the video game playthroughs are usually a lot more animated and are going to appeal more to youngsters, because their sense of humor and stuff is more aligned with that. While I think some of us, I'm not saying I do, but I think I have a bit of a sense of humor. Some of that is quite good for, you know, people of our age bracket. Let's say the 35 to 65 bracket. My humor might go along with that, but I don't think it's going to be going and really, you know, the dad humor is not really going to go along for, you know, 15-year-olds. But D20 would leave a mark if it nailed you in the forehead. Yes, it would. Speaking of which, let me grab one here and oh, just kidding. See, Ow. See that? Look at that right there. No, just kidding. It didn't hit me. I thought about it, but no. Not tonight. Now, that might attract some people, you know. Start doing gaming-related stunts, you know. I'm going to eat my entire deck of 2008 Phillies cards because they lost. Stratomatic cards. How about that? Maybe that will attract some new viewers to the channel. Boy. Well, anyway, I guess I should probably sign off. I don't want to carry on for too long. Sometimes people would look at the length of a video and say, "Oh, God, why can't he just keep his mouth shut and keep it short and sweet? Why in the heck does he have to keep going on?" But, well, so anyway, that's where things stand. I know that I would say that this channel has I'd say we're in a little bit of a... Earl's putting out some videos, so we're not in a lull. He's not in a lull so much, but I've been, so let's see if I can kind of dig myself out of this in the next couple of weeks. Again, I still have a lot of stuff going on, so that's all I could... that's the best I can do. Just try and see if I can fit some things in. Don't mean to sound melancholy or tired or burned out or anything like that, but I've got to have an excuse for the reason why I have only produced a video or two in the last week, and it just, again, it seems like it's low production. But anyway, just thanks a lot to each of you who have watched this. Those of you in the live chat, you're welcome to continue to leave comments in the section here. So Jay, one last thing he says, I agree. I don't want to force it, and there are times it feels like I'm getting into that realm, and I don't want to be there. Having said that, there are times that I've not forced it with other hobbies, and I may have never been back to them since. So I think there's some truth to that, but oh, gee, it's right there. It's right here. I'm like sitting there wondering where it went. That's this. It's actually by Robert Coover, and it's about Henry J. Waugh, proprietor of the Universal Baseball Association. So that's the one he sent to me, and I got to read it. I'm getting back into reading, so I'm going to have to pull this out. It'll probably take me a few nights, but so I don't want to start resenting it, but I also know that if apathy gets left for too long, it can turn into almost a disowning, and I don't want to do that either. So, okay, good night, everybody. Thanks a lot for hanging in here with us through thick and thin. Just keep looking for ways to spread the joy of these games, whether it's online, whether it's out in the real world. I think that's a good place to go. You just have to find your right spots. So thanks a lot. That's it. Look forward to some more videos here in the not too distant future, but not sure when. Keep in tune. We'll keep tuned in, I guess is what I mean to say, and we'll see you soon. Thanks a lot, guys. Good night.